We begin this afternoon with breaking news. President Joe Biden announcing a U.S. ban on Russian oil imports. It is the latest in a series of measures designed to punish Russia for an invasion of Ukraine. Eyewitness News reporter joins us with a look at yet another step aimed at crippling Russia's economy, plus the latest on the growing humanitarian crisis. Christiane?
Well, Ellen, we'll start with that Russia's economy part of it. In the hours after President Biden's announcement today to ban Russian oil imports, we're seeing more private companies saying we too are not doing business. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Starbucks, and McDonald's have all suspended operations in Russia. The pressure has been building for them to do so, and now the pressure shifts again to the Kremlin as the attacks in Ukraine continue.
During the promised ceasefire today in the northern city of Sumy, Ukraine, its 250,000 people felt the critical value of silence. Dozens of buses full of people traveled along the humanitarian corridor and made it into another town 100 miles away. They left everything behind, and yet not much is left. Missile strikes in that area turned buildings into debris. Rescue workers cut through the steel and the darkness to save anyone trapped. In Mariupol to the south, the local official told ABC News they had to abandon an attempt to evacuate after Russia violated the ceasefire there. Its 300,000 people are left without water or power.
School, kindergartens, hospitals, so city destroyed and destroying hour by hour, minute by minute.
Attacks continue in the northern city of Irpin as well, where people have found shelter under a bridge en route to their escape. Those who move forward do so step by step. Tatiana and her daughter told our team on the ground they ran overnight from a nearby town where their home was destroyed. Accountability from the West has until today looked like sanctions performed in unison against the Kremlin. That just changed. President Joe Biden announced the U.S. will ban Russian oil immediately, something Europe plans to do over time.
That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. We will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war.
The war has so far led to a death toll challenging to count and a refugee total difficult to understand. 2 million people have fled to other countries, mostly women and children. But these women, wives, mothers, and sisters of men on the front lines, have chosen to stay. They prepare boxes for aid and weave tarps of camouflage. This, too, is how they fight.
We need to protect our country. It is difficult to speak. My son is in the army since 2015. I didn't want to let him go, and he said, "Who will go if not me?"
Now, for days, there have been hints that instead of establishing a no-fly zone, NATO would help Ukraine amp up its own air force. Today, Poland announced it is ready to hand over its entire fleet of MiG jets to the U.S. in what looks like a step towards the U.S., then giving them to Ukraine. Poland asks that the U.S. backfills them in exchange.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.